Good.
Sure. Welcome to the session on pain. Pain can be a topic that brings some people to mindfulness, just because one is looking for some different methods of relief. So I know that I myself started using mindfulness for pain. I'm a regular migrainer, and I get pretty intense migraines, and I have to say that it's not that I don't get migraines anymore, but they're much more manageable in the sense that it's not going to completely ruin my day if I have a period of pain, and it just changes my whole attitude and approach. And we're going to talk about that during the class. Do either of you, before I start my slide, do either of you have any intro comments?
Nicole, do you want to share or are you going to do that after the slide, sharing your experience with pain?
I can do this real quickly while Julie sets up. My journey with pain really started with terrible back pain many years ago. And it was severe enough that I was told by 3 orthopedic surgeons that I would be in a wheelchair if I didn't get operated on. Now, this is not a class on whether you should get operations or not, but I chose not to and created a yoga program that included visualization and guided imagery and breathing and the most gentle movements, and I healed myself. But it was really incredible pain, like searing pain up and down my leg, like there was a scalpel there. So mindfulness was really helpful. And I think that we're going to talk throughout this class about our perception of pain. And that's really what I had to change personally to be able to heal, was just up here first, my perception, and then just the breath that brought me right here, right now, mindfulness, mindful moment. And that's why I'm still teaching yoga 31 years later from this journey. So.
Thanks so much, Nicole. So, the mechanisms of how mindfulness and pain, you actually kind of touched on, I think both of us probably touched on a couple of those just through our anecdotes. One is the mind over matter element. The brain is very powerful, and a lot of what we experience as pain is part of our brain's perception of what's going on. And sometimes we add an element above, and Laurel's going to talk about the emotional elements of pain next. And so really, really interesting. The other thing is there are direct changes that come from body changes, even in terms of how yoga and mindfulness affect our inflammatory response. The sympathetic versus parasympathetic arousal, and even, as Nicole mentioned, just the physical improvements from doing yoga. There is a study that, this is just such a classic study, so bear with me if you've seen it before, but they looked at, this is a laboratory of Fidel Zaidan, they looked at mindfulness and compared it to some really excellent controls. And the take-home message, it was 4 days of training. So if you guys are experiencing pain, maybe make a commitment to yourself if you really think that mindfulness and yoga may be right for you, to just take 4 days. They don't even have to be consecutive, just 4 days where you really think, I'm going to take an hour out of each day and really like train these responses, or a half hour every day, just to really familiarize yourself with these responses. Because as you can see, the brain changes happen after only these, these sessions where I believe were about an hour long. So they had one group doing mindfulness, one doing a placebo conditioning, in which they just rubbed an analgesic cream, which actually didn't have anything in it. It was just like lotion. A sham mindfulness, which was really a fake mindfulness. And they told people they were learning to meditate, and they had them zone out. And it's kind of funny. And listening to someone reading a book. And they expose them to thermal pain in the scanner. So they have a thing, it almost looks like a watch, but it's really a little bit of a torture device. It delivers a thermal pain that's not gonna hurt you, but is certainly unpleasant and very painful. And they had people rate the intensity and unpleasant of the pain before and after doing being in one of the groups, mindfulness or the controls. What they found is that for intensity, like how intense that pain is versus how much they disliked it and felt it was unpleasant, both of those decreased with all the placebos. So the fake cream, the mindfulness, and even the fake mindfulness. If you're told it's going to help with pain, placebo is enormously powerful at reducing pain. So that's another really interesting take home. But look at the little double asterisk on mindfulness. Mindfulness was more effective than the others. And compared to the others, it created a brain change. The anterior insula, as you can see here, look at placebo, sham, control. All of those are activating this bilateral insula. This is an area of the brain that acts as a bridge between your body perception and your emotional perception of your body perception, right? So it's linking body and emotion. So what mindfulness appears to do, the mechanism for how it works, is it takes away that emotional component of pain, which makes it more bearable. I wanted to also just quick note that the same area, this is a different slice. Before we were slicing the brain like this, now we're just slicing it up and down here. That anterior insula and also this emotional area are the same for physical pain and social pain. So if you feel left out, if you feel heartbroken, all those types of things that we call painful are activating the brain in the same way. So mindfulness has a potential for any type of pain, not just physical. Mindfulness is pain is one of the big three. The big three in terms of the most significant results from meta-analysis of mindfulness studies are anxiety, depression, and pain. Here you can really see effects of mindfulness being comparable with medications and other types of therapies. So, mindfulness is really another, big thing to have in your arsenal. Stress quality of life as well. So what about that kind of like the actual physical changes in the body? Well, what happens when we have pain? We usually reach for an NSAID, like ibuprofen or naproxen, or maybe we take something stronger. Well, those are changing non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. That's what NSAID stands for. So it's an anti-inflammatory. It's reducing inflammation so that you feel less pain. Well, pills aren't the only things that can do that. Yoga can as well. This study just came out. It was actually a study on depression, but interleukin-6 also can mediate pain, and depression and pain can be quite linked as well. As you can see, after doing 2 months of yoga, the inflammation goes down in the yoga group and not the control. There was another study, this one wasn't on depression, looking at different inflammatory factors, and they found that this was most robust when they're exposed to a stressor. So you'd have the control group and the yoga group, and then you expose them to a social stressor where they feel kind of nervous. They have to give a speech and do math in front of people, and they have less of a inflammatory response to stress. So you're changing your response to stress, which could, stress and pain are also related. So you uncouple that. It also affects sympathetic parasympathetic activity, and Nicole later is going to do an alternate nostril exercise. Breathing out of the right versus left nostril actually affects your brain, and it affects the parasympathetic versus sympathetic nervous system. This is a really cool study, and it showed especially the left prefrontal cortex responding to right nostril breathing. And you can see that the mechanism actually responds to the nasal hair activation, which kind of goes upstream into the brain, and it's a really interesting mechanism. And finally, we're going to do, as Nicole mentioned before the class, a restorative exercise. There's a slew of excellent restorative exercises on our Facebook page that you can find if you just look for restorative exercises. There was a study done at West Virginia University on restorative exercises and back pain. Sorry if you can hear a little background jabber. But I realized that I was actually in the study, which was kind of fun to see. That both short-term relief and long-term relief can be caused. The 2 Williams studies, a meta-analysis showed that, you know, all the studies are pretty consistent. So you change your brain, you change your physiology of your body, and it can be a very powerful thing. I'm ending with a funny anecdote. I visited one of my colleagues on the left of me, David Vago, and he went to Vanderbilt at this little private clinic where they take the worst. Could you keep it down just a little bit, love? Thanks. Where they had the worst of the worst pain sufferers. These are people who had a brain surgery fail. So these people have tried surgery to correct the pain, you know, in implants and such, and it didn't work. And then they found they did mindfulness and yoga, and David called it magic fairy dust. Finally, after years and years and years of pain and suffering and failed surgeries, it was mindfulness and yoga that did the trick. So I just wanted to end on that.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. It's fascinating. I mean, we could talk science for much longer. The proof is in the pudding. So we want to try these things out for yourself to see how they work. And consistency is good. So keep, you know, doing it consistently, so that we can kind of rewire the brain and kind of change those neural pathways, help over time. So the emotional component of pain is strong, as you know. And I bet most of you know, if you've had pain, you've probably paid attention sometimes to the thoughts that you're having and how that influences the pain. Sometimes when I've had pain, if I'm in a vulnerable mood or tired, I might catastrophize. Like, oh, this is never going to go away. And oh, this is horrible. And guess what? It typically makes the pain worse. So I want you to just pay attention to your thoughts and say, oh, I'm catastrophizing. And I don't need to be doing that. Do I need more sleep? Do I need to, you know, to hydrate? Do I need to take care of myself in what other way so I can help myself not catastrophize? Because your perception of pain, your thoughts of pain are so powerful, so very, very powerful, so that you want to try to reframe those thoughts, such as maybe, you know, the pain may be strong, but maybe changing the word pain. Some people have found this has helped, changing the word pain to discomfort. You know, I'm feeling a lot of discomfort, instead of saying, oh, you know, I'm feeling a lot of pain. Try that out. It may help, it may not, but quite a few of my clients have found that it's helped. And then, so what you focus on magnifies. So that's kind of that catastrophizing thinking. So if you're focusing on how horrible and how bad it is, it's just going to make it worse. And the studies show that. So that sometimes you can focus on the pain or reframing it discomfort, and try to visualize the pain like you're in partnership with it. I mean, lots of times we're against it. And what we are against persists, what we resist persists. So trying to make friends with the pain, talking to the pain, saying, oh, I have this discomfort and I'm going to be okay. Soothing self-talk, kindness and compassion self-talk has been shown to quiet and ease the pain. So that's another tool. And then let me see, checking my list here, validating your feelings. Like, this may, you know, be the worst pain you've ever felt. And it's like, it's okay that I can't do what I normally do. It's okay that I feel angry and sad. You know, if we validate the feelings and we learn to accept them, again, not resisting, because when we resist, the suffering persists. So accepting that, yes, this is not good and I don't like it. And I may be angry, I may be sad, feel the feelings, express them, talk about them, maybe write about them, you know, get them out, because what we hold in can hurt us very much so. And I think that's about it from the emotional standpoint. I didn't introduce myself. I'm sorry. I'm Laurel Falconberry, and I'm therapist, outpatient therapist at Chestnut Ridge. And I've worked with people with a lot of pain issues. And I work at the Cancer Center also. So I have found that mindfulness, will do a guided meditation later. Nicole is going to do yoga and breathing now. And all of these tools help reduce the level of pain. Yeah. Thank you very much. Nicole?
Okay, everybody, thank you, Laurel. Now, yoga and pain is a vast subject. We need like 3 hours, really, because it's very difficult to say that this specific technique is going to do it, this specific pose is going to do it, because first it's individualized, depending the nature of the pain, how it got started, whether it is acute, whether it is chronic or intermittent. That makes a big difference, because people with chronic pain really have a very different perception and relationship to pain than if you just occasionally, have a little knee pain or something. So one of the most beneficial thing for pain is restorative yoga. Restorative yoga, some of you have been in these classes before, I've taken classes with me, is a practice where you use a lot of props. You use your pillows, your blankets, and we have like bolsters, which are the two things you see stacked on top of each other. We use blankets that are rolled up and such, and we place ourselves in a position. So for instance, if you have back pain, I would place you in a specific sort of child pose position, really helping to lengthen. So that when you are in these poses, you can learn to relax. So restorative yoga reduces the effect of stress, the stress of pain that it has on your body. It plays a role therapeutically, creating a sense of healing and deep relaxation. And the greatest thing is that you receive the benefits while not spending significant amount of energy, because the props are sort of doing it for you, right? And so it helps you then to listen to that inner voice, that guidance, that intuition, and you can hear that more clearly. Our body knows how to heal. We just have to listen to the promptings, and that's not easy. And that's restorative yoga is really a wonderful gift for that. So when we relax, we go within interoception. We get information on what's going on. So it's important, it's sort of when we get into a state of passive receptivity, and we're going to do more of that when I do the deep relaxation at the end, which is called Shavasana. And some of you have taken yoga, have practiced that before. So today what I'd like to do is we're going to practice, I'm just going to do one generic restorative yoga that you can do in your office. It was really hard to pick out, the variety of poses that we could do. And again, it's very individualized. So most of you, I imagine, are either at home at your desk or you are at work at your desk and you have a desk and a chair. So I wanted to sort of give you the, how do you get into child pose to help with, that can help. That specific one will be helpful for back pain because it's going to lengthen the lumbar spine. Also, it relaxes the forehead down. It can be helpful for mild headaches and also helpful for emotional distress over pain. Child poses like kind of returning to an innocence, to just being in present moment with your breath. And also when you're in child pose, you're feeling the breath in the back body. So you sense the expansion of the back of your body and then the contraction. And that can be very helpful in showing you how, pain is modulated inside your body and how you can psychologically also modulate yourself with that pain. So I'll be demoing that. So in the beginning of class, I gave the option for some of you if you're at home to have your yoga mat and to have some blankets and to practice that. I'm going to give you a really, really quick demo on that. So this pose involves sitting on your heels and moving all the way to the floor. Now, that's not accessible for a lot of people. So either because they have pain in the ankles. So if you have pain in the ankles, you can use just a rolled up bath towel, works great. If you have a blanket, that's great also. And you put that right beneath the front aspect of your ankles. Then if it's knee-ish, a little bit of knee issue, then you can place a blanket like this. It's folded in a rectangle, and you place it right behind your knees. So it's between your thighs and your calf muscles. Then you can have a chair in front of you and just release. Or if you feel a little bit more flexible, you could use a lower stool or 2 yoga blocks on top of each other. And if you have none of those issues, then you can ditch everything and just sit on your heels, hinge from the hips, and just relax all the way to the floor. So that's the option. So now I'm going to demo the option of you at work, which is probably most of you. So this is going to be my chair, and this is going to be my desk right here. Okay, good. So from here, there are 2 ways that you can work with the chair. So this is for the less flexible and maybe more pain. So you would just, you can use, I'm going to put this over here because the chair is a little hard. And this is the position. I just press my hips back. I lengthen from lower back, mid back, upper back, bringing the elbows on your desk and just relaxing. The other option for those of you that are a little bit more flexible is to turn the chair around. Okay, and you can actually put your coat, your blanket, or if you have a padded seat, you don't need any of that. Okay, and then from here, you might sit back a little bit, and then from here, just release down with your forehead on the edge of the chair. And then you're going to slowly come back. So choose your position now that works for you, and we're just going to rest. We're going to rest about 45 seconds into this pose. If you can hold it longer, then you can hold it longer. That's perfectly fine. And as you relax into this pose, become aware of the back of your body and just simply allow your entire back to expand and contract with the breath. So following that wave in the body, so you may feel that the wave starts in your lower backs as you inhale, expands to the mid back and upper back. And then as you exhale, it releases from the upper back, mid and lower. Okay. Good. And the eyes are closed. The attention is inward. And let's just make believe right now that you have back pain. So lower back. So now feel the breath only in your lower back. And let the exhalation become longer. And with each exhalation, feel that you're letting go a little bit of that pain and discomfort. And observe also how the pain may change. For a few seconds, it may feel a little bit more acute. For a few more seconds, you might actually not feel anything. And then maybe a few seconds later, there's a moderate level. So pain is not constant. It just changes. And when we can figure out those changes in the moments of relief, that can be very powerful. Even though it may only last 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it helps us to relax and release. When we tighten around the pain, we make the pain, as Julie described, much more pronounced and severe. Okay, so now let's slowly come back up. Good. And just spend a moment noticing how you feel after this child pose. Okay. And again, this was only one restorative pose that is helpful for a specific ailment, and there's many. So you will be receiving from our marketing specialist, Anthony, an email after this class, maybe tomorrow, where we're going to give you links of all the restorative poses that I have on Facebook and the breathing. And also, I teach restorative yoga every other Thursdays from 12 to 12:50, and we can also send you links to that so that you can learn how to practice. Good. So now we're going to move into the breathing practices that I felt was the absolute most helpful to me to get me back to at least moving. I could barely move, and I dragged my right leg behind me. I mean, it was a very painful experience. And I felt like it wasn't the movement at first that helped me. It was my attitude and my breath. So the moment that I could relax into my breathing, I go, okay, I'm getting some relief. That feels great. Even though the pain wasn't going away, I was just sort of being in that zone of getting that little bit of relief. And it's very important to make those distinctions because, again, we can tighten so hard around pain that it feels like Julie said, I can't take this anymore. It's always there. It's always going to be there. And it's very self-defeating in terms of our healing experience. Okay. So the breathing today, I'm going to teach two different breathing. One is called the Brahmari, the humming bee breath. Sorry. I like to use the Sanskrit names in the breathing because they're very precise, and English can be descriptive of many different types of breathing. So in Brahmari breathing, if you've been with me before, it's very simple. We inhale through the nose. We exhale with a humming sound with the mouth closed. So there's a lot of benefits scientifically to that. And in later classes, we're going to cover that science. And Julie is usually the one who covers that. So it's very powerful what happens in the brain with Brahmari. And it's also very powerful in terms of the nitric oxides release from the cells that line the walls of your nose. So in this breathing, we inhale and exhale with a sound. So we will do that together. So the prerequisite with that is to sit straight. Again, if you have back pain, please use your coat rolled up, a decorative couch pillow behind your back, anything that you have that's going to make you sit comfortably and straight. The most important part in the breathing is this, your diaphragm muscle. We don't want to have it collapse like this. It needs to be what I call liberated and open. So you want to feel that open in the length, and you want to feel the openness in the width as well. Okay. And now watch what happens with the neck. Bring your chin parallel to the floor. Parallel, right? Because many people kind of just think that lifting to the crown of your head is this. So that's only going to hyperextend your neck and create pain. So chin parallel to the floor, feeling a length in the spine and a relaxation in the front body. So I'll demo the first humming bumblebee breath, and then we'll do it together. I'd like to add a little addendum to this breathing. I was a birth doula helping women in labor for 27 years. I use that breathing over and over and over again for the pain of labor, and it worked fantastic. One woman said to me, whose birth I did not attend, that she practiced it from the beginning of labor till the end. That's what got her through. So you can try it and see if that's helpful. So it sounds like this. I'm going to inhale through my nose. And then you kind of exhale in whatever pitch of voice works for you. And then again, so you will feel the vibration kind of in the brain. You will feel the vibration in your mouth, in your chest, in your lips especially. So just being aware of that. Okay, so we're going to do a few together, and I'm going to just close my microphone so you don't hear me, and then you can hear yourself. All right? Relax your jaw as you do this. Good. And just do one more at your own pace. And then just observe from just 3 or 4 breaths that you've taken, how you feel. This can be very helpful in bringing calmness and clarity, both of these breathing. Good. And again, that breathing is on the Facebook page. Now we're going to move to the second one. And I know we're moving quickly, so you're getting a taste of these practices. The second one, Nadi Shodhana, means purification of the nerves or the nervous system. And so alternate nostril breathing means that we breathe from side to side. And Julie gave a little bit of description of that and talked about the science of it, so I don't have to go into that. We're going to go directly into the practice. So in the practice, I'll demo really quickly the first round, and then we'll practice together. I'm going to bring my right hand up to my face. Back is straight. Again, think always that liberating that diaphragm. With the right hand up, you can either bring your fingers in the peace sign and bring them together and bring them on the forehead. This is helpful for people who don't have arthritis, for instance, or stiffness in the joint. If you don't have those problems, then bring those peace fingers together and bring the pads of those fingers to the palm of the hand, so that you are left with your ring finger that opens and closes your left nostril, and your thumb that opens and closes the right nostril. So the breathing goes like this. I exhale fully through both sides. And then I inhale gently through both sides. Silent breath, quiet, easy, and comfortable. Then I close the right nostril with the thumb and exhale fully out of the left side. Then I inhale on the same side, on the left. Now I close with my ring finger. I open the thumb and I exhale slowly out of the right side. And at the end, I inhale the right side, close both sides. Good. So that is the sequence of the alternate nostril breathing. It's very important where you place your finger on your nose. So your nose goes like this. It indents for the nostrils. Right where the indentation is where you press, but press so lightly so that your nose isn't moving. I shouldn't be seeing nose move from side to side. All right, let's practice it together. Bring your hand up, right hand up. Keep your left hand down on your lap, relax. Relax your face, your jaw. Good, excellent. Now decide which hand gesture you're going to do. Either the peace sign, and you bring those fingers on your forehead, or to the palm of your hand. Okay, now if your arm gets tired because you have an injury in your right shoulder, for instance, place your hand underneath, put a yoga block underneath or a pillow. It's perfectly fine to do that. Bring your hand close to your face. Take a full exhalation, gently, softly, soundless. Inhale slowly through both sides. Close your right nostril and slowly exhale left. At the end of the left breathing, inhale. Now close both sides and just hold momentarily. Open your thumb and breathe out of the right side slowly all the way out, and then breathe in. Again, close both sides. Relax. Open the left side. Breathe out slowly. Breathe in slowly. Close both sides again. Hold gently. Exhale out of the right. Inhale right. Close. Slowly exhale left. We'll do one more round. Slow inhalation left. Close both sides. Keep the shoulders down. Open the right side, slowly exhale. Once more, inhaling to the right side. Close and hold. And as you open the left side, take a long, long, long exhalation. Bring your hand on your lap and just spend a moment now, just with your eyes closed if that's comfortable, noticing how you feel. If this is the first time you do this, you need to give yourself a few practice sessions to feel the full benefits of the alternate nostril breathing. So I find that it opens my sinuses so well. So this can be very helpful for people who have respiratory issues. And also, if you find that one nostril is closed, it may help to open it. But if you're really congested, wait till you're fine and practice when you're not congested. Okay? Good. So I have found that when I was in the throes of my back pain, this breathing was saving me because I felt much more calm and I had clarity. I felt like it brought clarity to me, that this pain may or may not be there for the rest of my life, but I was going to be in present moment with what's happening to myself and accept it, that this pain was not going to be my enemy, that I was going to fight like a war, that it was part of me. And it was part of my body and part of my mind, my emotions and my spirit, and that I would just be with it. So now we're going to go into Shavasana, the relaxation practice. This is one of the things that I had created for myself for my healing was relaxation. And from relaxation, I would do guided imagery and visualization. So personally, because I had such back pain, I visualized the two vertebrae pulling away from each other and helping for the disc to slip back in. I had been told that it wasn't there anymore, but I didn't believe it. And by the way, it's still there. So that's what I visualized. So whatever your pain is, then you could use whatever guided imagery and visualization that's fine for you. Okay, so if you have a migraine, for instance, you may feel that your head is in a vice grip. So you can imagine that slow release or whatever the other imagery that works for you. So now sit back on your chair and have your feet down and have your hands on your lap, very gentle. So soften the palms of your hands, because one of the things that happens in pain is we do this with our hands. We bring them into fists. We raise the shoulders. We tighten the chest and the belly. So just palms down on your lap. Good. And now, if it feels comfortable, close your eyes completely. And it's okay to leave them just very partially open if that's not comfortable for you. So eyes closed. And now simply be aware of your breathing, or first step. Be aware of the breath in. Be aware of the breath out. Notice the playful movement of the inhalation and exhalation together. Inhalation, we take in life and energy. Exhalation, we let go. So letting go. And you may also notice that after the inhalation, there's a gentle, natural pause. No, you are not holding your breath, but it's that as a result of the breath changing. From the inhale, there's the breath changes to the exhalation. And then at the end of the exhalation, there's again a little gap there, natural gap, where we slip back into the inhalation. So one slips into the other, and that can be a great visualization for pain. Just that, if you don't have time, you're not in the right space or place. So I'm noticing the inhale and the gap. I'm noticing the exhale and the gap. And now from the breath, connect to your whole body as a whole. Feel the whole of your body sitting on the chair. And we're going to take our attention down all the way down to the floor, into the soles of the feet, making contact with the floor. And so in relaxation, we relax different body parts or different groups in the body, areas of the body. And we want to achieve a very deep relaxation there, which gets us closer to healing. That's where healing is accessible, when we are able to fully and deeply relax. So now relax all your 10 toes and your feet. So I'm going to skim through the body, and your job is simply to exhale, let go. So around your ankles, shin and calf muscles, knees, all around the knees and behind the kneecaps. And then relax the large muscles of your thighs. Let go. Relax your hip joints, the flesh of the buttocks, lower back, mid back, upper back. Drop the shoulders down. And turn your attention now to your abdomen. Relax all four corners of your abdomen. Feel the belly getting soft. And now relax the solar plexus where the ribs meet in the front of the body. This is an area where we really tighten during stress and pain. And now become aware of relaxing the ribs, between the ribs. Relax your right lung, your left lung, behind the collarbones. Now relax the front of your neck, sides of your neck, back of your neck. And now relax the whole of your head and become aware of the mask of your face. And now soften. Let go of any expression. Feel the relaxation around and behind your eyes. Bridge of your nose and the nostrils, cheekbones. Your lower jaw. Especially lower jaw is very important because in pain we tighten the jaw and the mouth. As you relax your lower jaw, relax the tongue toward the bottom of your mouth. Soften the root of your tongue. And now from the root of your tongue, feel that relaxation all the way down to the pit of your stomach, where we start to reach now the internal organs. Feel the internal organs relax. And lastly, feel the whole of your brain and nervous system relaxing. Feel your nervous system like the wiring of your body. Relax, let go. Feel the energy move unhindered, softly. And now I'd like for you to pick an area of the body where you either have pain right now or that you have had in the past. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Bring that to your consciousness. And now take your attention and your breath to that region in the body. So it may be in your ankle. And of course, your lungs are only in your chest. So we're practicing a little imagination game. We're drawing that breath down and energy to an area of the body that is painful. And then from here, just kind of be aware. Be aware of maybe a vortex of energy spinning around that region. Bring your breath there. Bring a soothing balm. And for some people that are very visual, perhaps a healing color. And that's it. That can be a very gentle guided imagery that you can do very easily wherever you are. Good. And we'll stay there for about 30 more seconds. Good. And now from here, stay with your awareness throughout your body and your breath. And Laurel is going to lead you in a mindfulness meditation.
Staying with your eyes closed or fuzzy gaze downward. Feeling the presence of your breath in your body. Your feet connected to the earth. The full weight of your body on your chair. Awareness of the easy breathing, the easy inhalation and exhalation, like riding the waves on the ocean. Easy in, easy out, without any control, forcing or holding of the breath, letting it to flow. And now I'd like you to imagine, if you're not in pain now, imagine a painful scenario of the past. And now imagine a thought that might come related to that pain. Imagine the thought, the phrase, the sentence, the idea that is coming now. And just take a moment for that thought to arise. So noticing the thought, noticing the weight. Is it light or heavy? Is it sharp or soft, the thought? Does it possibly have a color? And validate it, acknowledge it. And then gently and kindly returning to your breath. Just allowing your focus to come back into your body and your breath. Riding the waves, easy in, easy out. Feeling your body soften with every exhalation. Shoulders relaxing a little bit more. Letting go, surrendering to this moment. Accepting whatever arises without judgment. Whatever arises. So noticing now possibly your next thought related to the pain or not. And again, acknowledge the thought, the weight, the shape, the intensity or not. And gently and kindly bring your attention back to your breath. Just flowing back and forth. As thoughts arise, you become aware. And once you become aware, you gently, like the wave, bring your awareness back to your breath in your body. And feeling your body, riding the waves of the in-breath and the out-breath. Softening, letting go with every out-breath. Accepting whatever arises in thought or emotion. Maybe becoming aware of your next feeling, emotion, related to the pain or not. And acknowledging that feeling, acknowledging it, thanking it for showing up. Thank it for sharing. Maybe something that you need to hear. Maybe something that needs addressing, that needs your attention. Notice that feeling and thought. Again, maybe the texture, the weight, maybe even a color. Thanking it. And gently coming back to your breath. That full awareness of breathing. Breathing in that life force energy. And releasing what you don't need, letting go. And now, gently bring your awareness back to your room, to the full awareness of you being in your room. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And just sitting here now with your eyes open, noticing how you feel, how that helped, possibly. And that you can do this for yourself in just seconds or minutes, whenever you want throughout the day. Thank you. And we're going to move on to another meditation with Julie.
So I'm going to talk about compassion. If you're someone who kind of feels that pain gives you a little bit of a fear of missing out or creates feelings of angst around your own kind of sense of self, compassion can be really helpful. You can use the opportunities that pain provide to practice gentleness with oneself. And in a way, sometimes we go, and at a certain point, pain can be a little bit of a signal that forces us to kind of rest and practice self-care. And so one takes an opportunity here to appreciate any of the other exercises one has done. If you were able to even have one breath of mindfulness, or just do a little bit of the child pose that Nicole taught today, that's practicing self-compassion. That's gentleness on oneself. And pain may have given you a little bit of a chance to do that practice, which is helpful in other ways as well. But the other thing that I'm going to go through for just a couple minutes is the fact that you can use pain as kind of a jumping off point to practice empathy towards others. And this may not be something that feels right to you, but if it does, I found that my migraines felt more useful to me when I could sit, feel the pain, and then create a wish that myself and all others feeling similar pain be relieved from suffering. So we can just try that for a minute or two. Whatever discomfort or pain, whether physical or mental, as I mentioned, it activates the brain in the same way. Just feel where you might be experiencing any discomfort or pain, and create a wish for yourself to have some relief, like a burden lifted off one's shoulders. And one, in feeling that, can spread to include anyone else with a similar emotion, a similar pain. May I be relieved of any suffering or stress, and may all similar be relieved of suffering or stress. You can start with thinking of an individual you might know of and spread to include all in your city, the nation, and the world, without thinking of anyone in particular. Just wish for ourselves, anyone in this Zoom class, and anyone in the world experiencing pain to have relief and to have peace of mind. And one can come back to the room, taking a few breaths, feeling your feet on the floor, recentering with mindfulness. And the important part of that practice is the depression network of the brain and the pain network of the brain often are very similar in that they're focusing on oneself and suffering, like Laura was talking about, and also Nicole. When you kind of use your pain as a stepping stone to kind of expand to others, it may not work for you in the moment, but if one practices and is able to do it, it actually kicks into the pro-social regions of the brain, which is a bit of an antidote to depression and anxiety and pain. So now we have a few moments for questions. We did a lot of different practices today. So we invite you to re-listen to this talk and explore our Facebook page, as well as some of these practices have longer guided, especially the restorative exercises on that page. Does anyone have any questions? You could use the chat or just unmute. Maybe a specific type of pain or a question about how to do one of the practices.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we shared a lot. And if you
saw there is a comment.
Oh, is there what?
A comment, like the monks a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, if you'd like us to come to your department and talk about pain or anything specific to pain, we can tailor our hour session, right, Julie and Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could come to your department on Zoom.
Yeah, and if you could also fill out the after poll, that's very helpful for us to prepare for future classes and workshops.
Oh, thank you, Donna, for sharing about your friend in ICU.
Oh.
Yeah, being able to do something while you're in bed. Sometimes at least I'm the type of person who sometimes feels like I have to be doing something. And this can bring a sense of purpose to one's day, just being able to do these self-care practices. And they can bring relief too.
Yes.
And the friend that I mentioned in that clinic, the pain clinic, he's a neuroscientist like myself. So for him to say magic fairy dust just sort of implies that yeah, some of the mechanisms we know about, but some are just kind of even the scientists among us. So.
No.
The amount of. And
Well, I need to go.
Here's our little noisemaker from earlier.
Hi, Ren. Oh.
So.
Oh, thank you all for coming. And then in a few weeks, we'll have a class on sleep problems on the 16th of August. And Anthony will be sending out an email for that. But stay on and ask questions. I need to go and see a client, so I'm going to leave now. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Anthony, if you're there, could you put back the after poll questions, please? If you hear me and you're still there.
I think he can share after everyone.
After everyone left.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Ren. Hi, sweetheart. I can't see you. I only see your forehead. Oh, there you are.
He was quiet as